One of the things that, did we do that last time? Yeah, I'll put that before. Hey, welcome back. If this is your first time tuning in and you like the videos, consider giving me that thumbs up and maybe even subscribe so you can tag along on the journey. And I'm Erica and I'm coming to you from Crushed. Voice you this. Today we're drinking jasmine tea with a couple slices of lemon. We have some super cute squirrels that live in our trees. They're typically up to plenty of shenanigans during the day. Oh my gosh, they're super cute. And I named the two squirrels Gin and Tonic. In this week's video, we're gonna break down the budget for the solo quick trip down to Dallas. And surprisingly, it actually cost more to go on this solo trip than it did for the both of us to go on the Denver trip. And then next week, we're going to look at the hotel that I stayed at. I'm gonna take you around a little bit so you can get familiar with what's offered at the hotel. And then we're going to check out one of the attractions that I booked through City Pass. Let's see, so planning the trip down to Dallas wasn't too bad at all. It was a pretty direct route, 6.5 hours from my current location, which isn't too bad, and I'm willing to drive 6 to 7 hours by myself, and it's even better if I've got a partner with me to make the trip go by a little bit quicker. But the things that we need to look at are how much I spent in gas, how much the hotel was, the City Pass for just me, how much snacks were for me going down to Dallas, and then also coming back. Budgeting for food, and then also I made sure to go ahead and put parking down here just so I can kind of budget that. And then also the cost for pets to put them in the kennel. Okay, very similar to going to Denver. Whenever I go on these trips, if it's like 6 or 7 hours, it costs about $40 to gas up. Of course, that can be like $35, $36, or sometimes even $45. I spend about $40 to gas up the car. I like to make sure I fill up before I leave, halfway down, and then same thing coming back. And then also throw in a 5th gas up just in case. So if I'm doing any running around the city, you've got that 5th gas up that you're at least budgeting for. $40, you know, if I'm gassing up 4 times, that's $160. And then adding that 5th one in, we're looking at $200 for gas. So the same amount we budgeted for that Denver trip. And then for this location, I was able to find a Kimpton hotel and I was able to use points. So the only thing I had to pay for was taxes and then maybe a resort fee. And I've added about $50 for that. And I've added about $50 to the budget for that. So now we're looking at $250. Now, since it's just me using the City Pass, if you look up here, you've got the City Pass to Dallas and you have quite a few options, and it's $47. And of course, I'm just gonna round that up to $50. So $50 for me to use City Pass. And in this instance, I ended up only going to 2 attractions. I wanted to go to a 3rd, but we're gonna talk about that whenever we get to what I learned about this entire trip. I ended up going to the Geodeck, and then I also ended up going to the 6th floor museum at the Dealey Plaza, which is the location of the John F. Kennedy assassination. And we'll take a look at that in another video. We've got the City Pass that's $50, so you're adding that to the hotel taxes and then also gas. So we're looking at $300 so far. So food, I cut it in half because it's just going to be me. I'm saying about $25 per meal. Of course, this is on probably the lower end. You may be spending a little bit more. So just kind of think about, you know, what cuisine you like and go ahead and look at the restaurants that are in that location beforehand so that you know exactly how much you're going to be spending. I like to leave in the morning and then get to my destination around late afternoon and then have lunch. So I'm looking at $25 for lunch on the first day and then $25 for dinner. So $50 on that first day, and then the whole next day we've got $25 for each meal. So we're looking at 75. Yeah, so we're math. So we're looking at $75, and adding those 2 days together, we're about $125 for me for food. And if I jack up my math, I will at least fix it whenever I get to adding it to the video. And I want to add $50 for snacks, $25 on each end. This time I had to put the pets in the kennel, and I went ahead and splurged a little bit. I got them a bath, got their nails clipped, so that bill was $300. So adding that to the budget, it is an expense. It's an expense that is during the duration of the quick trip. So I want to always add that to that budget so I know how much I'm spending. Okay, so we're looking at $250 $100 for gas and $50 for taxes for the hotel. So we're at $250. $50 for the city pass, so that's $300. And then $125 for food. I am going to have to write this down as we talk. So now we're at $425. Then putting the pets in the kennel, that's another $300. So all of their boarding expenses, as well as getting them a bath and getting their nails clipped. So now we're looking at $725. So snacks and parking, we're gonna add $25 to each end of the trip. So we're looking at $50 for snacks. So adding that, we're at $775. And then also parking. They did offer valet, but just like the Denver trip, I'm not a huge fan of valet. I didn't take advantage of this service. I went ahead and parked a little bit away from the hotel down the hill in this parking area, and it was about $15 a day for parking. 805. So we're looking at $805. If you remember, the bill for both of us to go to Denver was about $700. And then if you notice, the bill for me to go on a solo trip is already busting what we spent going to Denver. So it's over by $105, which is more going solo. So the reason why it's more is because I've got the pets in the kennel so that they can be spoiled while I'm also taking the time to disconnect and recharge so that I can come back to the daily grind, right? And of course, I probably jacked my math up, but make sure that you're adding up your own budget and you're taking the time to crunch the numbers. And I have found this to be beneficial, to take the time to look at, you know, what the potential costs might be whenever I'm going on these quick trips. That way I can have an honest conversation with myself. You know, is it the right time to take a little quick trip? You know, have I budgeted for it? You know, do I need to save up for it? And then just project down the road. And of course, it is absolutely possible to spend a lot less to go on these little trips. Sometimes you can get a round trip flight for even less than I spent in gas. So really do your research. And with any of these vacations, whether it's the larger vacations or it's the smaller quick trips, I really like to make sure that I just pay attention and I put all of Erica into it. That really helps me get the most out of it. And that's what this is about. This is about you diving into that project management side of you and really putting your heart and soul into it, even if it is only a 48-hour trip. This is for you to disconnect and take the time to recharge so that you can come back to that daily grind, just hitting the ground running and giving your family that love and attention that they deserve. And also being able to look at work with fresh eyes, take a step back and really love the life that you're in. And of course, in anything you do, don't forget to get out there and just crush it. We're heading up to the observation lounge. Let's go.
Hey, how are you?
Good, how are you?